What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
Do I offend?
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, I encourage you to go to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have little old me, Keys Dan, at your next event, entertaining for you. Today on the program, Indie Annie Jones. Found her on the Instagram. She seemed pretty cool. And she said, yeah, let's do the What Makes You Famous podcast. So we're going to get to know a little bit more about Indie Annie Jones and find out what she does. So you have that to look forward to. This week's shows, I have a brand new show Thursday night from 5:30 to 8:30 over at Zona de Traca restaurant in Greenbrier, Arkansas. It's a family-friendly karaoke video dance party. And come on out. I want to see if we can make a good showing out there in Greenbrier. So if you're in Conway or if you're in Clinton, you come south, and Conway, you come north. Yeah, come on out to the Zona de Traca. I think it's Mexican restaurant, but it's got so much more. They say something about they have different kinds of food, so it's not just a Mexican restaurant, and that's great. I like that. Zona de Traca. Come on up to Greenbrier on Thursday night. That's tomorrow night, if you're listening to this as it first comes out. I think they're going to try to do it every 2 weeks, and then the other 2 weeks I have the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. So you might want to check that out. So yeah, this week, brand new show. It says Zona de Traca is Central American and Mexican food. So yeah, different kinds of food. It's Mexican food, but then there's a little twist to it. I think there's different kinds of people that are working there, and they've added their own flavors to it. So check that out. Come on out to Zona de Traca from 5:30 to 8:30 on Thursday night. Be there. And then on Friday night, yes, the regular Friday night show, I'll be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Video dance party, karaoke jam. Now, this one is not family friendly. It is an adult over 21 show. So come on out. They have the full bar. They have the kitchen and the pool tables. They have 10 league pool tables, and then there is a pool league that goes on every Friday night. Outside on the party patio, they have shuffleboard and foosball and a giant Jenga game. So there's always fun to be had while you're waiting to sing on the karaoke stage with little old me. Yes, you are the stars of the show. Friday night at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. That starts at 8 p.m. and we don't stop till almost 2 in the a.m. Yeah, way past my bedtime. So come on out and play with us at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, Friday night. And then on Saturday, another brand new show. Now, I asked at the Heber Springs VFW, which is where I'm going to be at 8 p.m. And I think it's 8 until 8 until about 2 in the a.m., if I'm not mistaken. I guess I need to look these things up before I actually start talking about them, shouldn't I? I probably should. Should I? Yeah, I probably should. So, it's, let's see. The Saturday night show is brand new. It's an 80s themed night over at at 7 p.m. No, 8 until midnight. I'm sorry. It is 8 until midnight over at the VFW on Heber Springs Road in Tumbling Shoals, Arkansas. So come on out and play with us, man. Dress in your 80s garb. I mean, if you graduated in the 80s like I did, you know what they were wearing in the 80s because you were there, baby. So come on out, man. I'll be playing some music videos just like they used to have on MTV. Do you remember when music videos were on MTV? I miss those. Don't you? I miss them. So I set up some televisions and I'll be all plugged in. Now they said they didn't want any karaoke because they already have karaoke, but I always have the screen set up and I'll have the microphones with me. So if it happens, it happens. We'll just have some fun, and singing the 80s songs will be as fun as dancing to them. Yes, it will. So come on out. That's a brand new show. Heber Springs VFW. All right. I think I've talked your ear off enough. Let's get to it with Indie Annie Jones. Calling Indie Annie Jones now.
Hello, this is Minnie.
Hi, Indiana Jones, please.
Yes, this is she.
Hi, she. This is Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
Oh, good. How are you?
Super duper. Thank you very much for asking. Indie Annie Jones. I don't even know what to call you. Indie Annie Jones. A combination of the three.
You can call me Annie. You can call me Indy. You can call me Jonesy, whichever one you like.
I like it. I think Annie will do just nicely. And you can call me Dan or Daniel, whichever you'd like.
All right. Sounds good, Daniel.
So you're on the What Makes You Famous podcast, and I've been kind of perusing. I know I found you on Instagram, but I've seen you have a YouTube. Tell the people, just to give them a little bio of who Indie Annie Jones is.
Well, Indie Annie Jones is an amalgamation of everything I love. Basically, costumes and cosplay, cooking and crafting, and sometimes some cocktails. So I put that all together and made a little YouTube channel about it.
I like that. How long have you been running this YouTube channel?
I started in September of 2015, and since then I've been featured in 15 different film festivals.
15 different film festivals. Now, you're located where, in Florida?
I am located in Miami, Florida.
Miami, my hometown.
The tip of the street. Oh, really? You're from Miami?
Born and raised.
Oh, my goodness.
Majuano de la Guantanamera.
You're Cuban?
Of course, yes. We're all Cuban down there, some way.
I know, me too. It's hilarious. No, I am Cuban. No, Ana Margarita Rey. That's my maiden name. I just got married to the only Anglo in Miami.
You better believe it.
Yep. Irish Anglo.
Irish Cuban. That's me.
Yep.
No, that's me. I'm Irish and Cuban.
That's so funny. That's my children now. They're mixed and fixed.
They're going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. Growing up in Miami. Now, I was born there in 1969, and I grew up there, and I just moved to Arkansas in 2009, and I haven't been back since. How
did that happen? Wait a minute. How did you move to Arkansas?
I'm trying to start a fight club, but I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Okay, got it. All right. Very interesting.
Oh, for sure. My mom and grandma are still down there in the Florida Keys, which is where Keys Dan came from. How about that?
Very nice. Very nice.
But it's not about me. It's about you, Indie Annie Jones. I mean, yes, it's a conversation. It's getting to know you. And yes, you can get to know me as well. And the listeners really, I think they're going to enjoy a little conversation between you and I, especially now that we know that we've eaten the same dirt. We've been to the same beaches. I was a DJ in South Beach for quite some time. Oh, yeah. I've done weddings all up and down that place. So, yes, Indie Annie Jones. You're born and raised in Miami?
No, actually, I was born in New York City in Queens and came down to Miami when I was 12. Okay. And therefore, I was bullied as a child because I was too New Yorkan. Oh. I wasn't Latina enough. I'm not kidding you. That was the problem. I was too white, too New Yorkan, too not Latina enough.
See, I think you took the route that my mom did, because she was born in New York, and I guess she grew up in what is it, Jewish Harlem, and she ended up with a Jewish name, and then she moved down to Miami with the grandparents. They're straight from Cuba, and so I guess I'm third generation. There you go. Did you come from Cuba or born in New York?
No, I was born in New York. My parents came on the freedom flights from Cuba to New York City.
In the 80s? In 1980?
No. Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh.
You think I'm that young? No, honey, I was born in 68.
Oh,
no, I'm older than you.
Ah, we're the same age.
I was born in 68, so my parents came in the freedom flights of the 60s.
Okay, all right, yes. So tell me about that. What do you know about them and their freedom flights? That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, back then it was La Revolución and all that stuff, and my mom was a teacher, my dad was an accountant, and they did what they could to get out of Cuba, and they ended up in New York City, and they started working at Chase Manhattan Bank on the graveyard shift because their English was not so good.
Right.
So
that's Celia Cruz said, "My English not so good looking."
Exactly. There you go. And and they worked the graveyard shift, which unfortunately for those of my neighbors who were stunned that some Cuban refugees can already move into the suburbs of Queens, only being there 5 years or so, they all naturally assumed that my beautiful redhead mother and my my cigar smoking dad was a pimp and she was a prostitute.
Ouch.
So, yeah.
Ouch. What?
So that's why the nuns were really, really nice to me in school until, my mom found out and all hell broke loose. And she's like, I am not a prostituta. So anyway, interesting background there.
Yeah. And you spent 12 years in Queens, so that had to touch you a little bit. What do you remember about growing up in Queens?
It was wonderful. It was the most idyllic childhood that you can imagine in the 70s growing up, in Queens, New York, and being surrounded by so many different cultures, between Italian and Jewish and Irish and German, everything was mishmashed together. So, I would eat knishes and platanitos, it was really fun.
Yes. Yes, America's melting pot. Definitely.
It was.
I've never been.
Definitely.
I rarely go north of the Mason-Dixon line, and I've never been to New York at all. I think the farthest north I've been was D.C. maybe, on a school trip. But yeah, I have to live vicariously through you and others about what it's like to be in New York. And Queens, you say, was a good experience.
It was a lovely experience. I had those, you look at Hocus Pocus and that Halloween where they're walking around with the leaves and kids running. That was my childhood. Well,
that would definitely put that kind of memory of you being in a Hocus Pocus type place would affect your psyche. Who would have known? Who would have thunk it? Indiana Jones. So you got to Miami, and you still, it feels like you still have a little bit of an accent. And you can tell me, I don't have an accent. You have an accent.
No, I do. I have a little bit of, I'm like, people listen to me and they're like, you're Cuban, you're New Yorkan, what the heck are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit of both. So.
Well, that's good. It puts a little flavor on you. And you moved from one melting pot to another. Because I know living in Miami, everybody loved everybody. If you didn't get along, you were going to have some trouble. So going as a young lass of 12 years old, and where in Miami are you at? Because I know there's different little provinces.
I'm in like West Kendall in the hammock, so I'm way out in the boonies.
I like West Kendall in the hammocks. I lived. I worked at Baptist Hospital for a while when I was there in Kendall, and I was on the fire department in Key Largo, so I know the area. I know Kendall very well. So West Kendall, nice digs, Indiana Jones.
Nice, thank you.
You're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you. And single. And hey, guys, I'm single.
Hubba.
I'm taking auditions.
Yes, must love cosplay.
I swear. I think this would be so much easier if I just put out auditions for a reality show for a boyfriend and just have a whole bunch of guys just try out and have my friends and I just measuring them America's Got Talent. Okay, what can you do? Oh, okay. Next.
I think you.
But this is
you shouldn't have too much trouble meeting men, whether it's the right person or not. Is the other factor. There are plenty of dudes in Miami.
Well,
7 million?
There's a reason. There's a reason why it's called Florida Man. Let's just put it that way, because Miami is part of Florida. So Florida Man is alive and thriving here in Miami.
Well, and there's a whole difference between South Florida and the rest of Florida. Anything north of West Palm Beach is might as well be South Georgia and South Alabama.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So okay,
exactly.
Let's go into the Indiana Jones. What your typical what would be your dude, your ideal dude, your ideal?
Oh goodness, we're going into that.
Well, might as well, since you brought it up. This is getting interesting.
Okay. Well, thank you, Chuck. Now I think like you're Chuck Woolery.
That's
from
right.
The dating
We'll
game.
be back in 2 and 2.
There you go.
Spanish
well, number
flag.
one, a very good sense of humor, a good sense of self, kindness, compassionate, very creative person who just loves to enjoy life and is not like, super cynical or sarcastic.
Uh-huh.
And
Any
doesn't live in his mother's efficiency.
Yeah, you got that right. You better have your own place there, bucko.
Thank you. Exactly.
Well, okay, so you're an independent woman. You've got your own YouTube channel. It seems to be doing very well. I mean, you got just one more subscriber today.
Yay! Hey, and maybe some more after this. Yeah, I'm trying. It's a very different platform because there's a lot of middle-aged women who craft, and then there's a lot of teenagers that do cosplay. So I don't know how that works together. So I'm trying to get like this whole audience, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I've been trying.
Just the blurb, and if you look at Indiana Jones's YouTube, the blurb is: you like cosplay, you like crafting, you like cooking. Well, why look around for different channels when you could find all that here? So,
amen.
3 different aspects of Indiana Jones. What got you into the first aspect? What was the first thing that you discovered that you had a talent for?
Well, here's the thing. Funny enough. So, okay, back almost 10 years ago when I was, married and had the 2 little kids and all that stuff, and life was wonderful. All of a sudden everything changed. Husband left.
Oh.
We had a difference of opinion.
Okay.
He wanted a mistress, and I didn't think that was right.
Yeah,
so
that's
anyway,
probably not good. No, that would.
No,
yeah.
exactly. So we just leave it at that. But I actually, within a year after he left, I started acting for independent films. That's why I'm Indiana Jones. So I started acting for independent films and student film projects, and I'm usually involved in at least 3 to, I don't know, maybe more than that, maybe like 6 to 10 projects a year, maybe. Maybe not that much, but I've been in at least like 46 different productions, and they could be short films. Some of them have been a little longer films, but short films. I enjoy the short film format. It's fun. And
so Miami has been an avenue for you to find films, because I know that they do make a lot of films and television down there, and this has all been in Miami.
Yes. Unfortunately, however, until recently, we didn't have the benefits as other states do, like Georgia and North Carolina, when they get, benefits for filming there, like big production companies from Hollywood. Oh. So that's why the independent film industry here has been thriving. Now we're starting to get some more production companies back, and there's been, production studios created and stuff. But what happened was that I was being typecast very early on. So after the second, third year that I was acting, I noticed that I was always being typecast as somebody's mom or somebody's aunt or somebody's older friend and I was like, just because I'm over 40 doesn't mean I'm dead. Yeah. There's a lot to women, especially women over 40. So I started doing Indiana Jones, and people started looking at me differently. So now I've been cast as a homeless woman, as a homicidal maniac in a horror film, as a mother, but a neurotic mother that drives her son into a shooting spree. That kind of stuff. Yeah,
so how did the acting bug start? What kind of schooling did you do? Or did you?
None.
None.
None. I worked for Miami International Film Festival and Miami Book Fair, Miami International Book Fair. And while I was there was a student filmmaker who was helping me make volunteer training videos. And he was like, "Damn, you're photogenic. You mind being a mom for my film for school?" And I'm like, "Okay, all right, sure. I have no experience. What do I have to play? A frustrated single mom. Okay, I've got experience. Let's do it."
Yeah, you can do this.
And I did it. And within a year, that same film actually appeared at the Miami International Film Festival. So, full circle. Came around full circle. Yeah.
And had you been working
training
for them at that time?
At that time, actually, did I stop work? I think I had stopped working for them at that time.
Okay.
And because I was working for them part-time, it was part-time seasonal. And after my ex left, I had to get a full-time job. So my background, actually, if you're interested, or if not, here it is anyway.
Of course.
My background is actually, I have a degree in finance and international business, and I have a master's degree with specialization in auditing and international business.
Smart.
So there you go.
Gal.
Never took a darn acting class, never was into acting. Love movies, love films, and that's why I do the cosplay part, because I get to do parodies of films that I love. You won't see anything on my channel that I don't really, really love and really commit to.
Yeah, but I think you took after your parents, because your dad was in the finance and your mom was in the teaching. So you got your smarts from mom and dad. It looks like they instilled that education into you at an early age. So were you a good kid in school?
Very good. I was so good. I didn't even skip on skip day. I was so good.
Oh,
I was
nerd.
I was really good. I was an honor student. Taking AP classes and college credit classes and stuff. And
how cool
I
is
got
that?
I got my master's by the time I was 24. So.
Oh, fantastic! All right. So what high school did you go to?
San Bernardino's. I was a good Catholic girl.
Catholic school. See, I went to St. Monica's until I was in 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know.
When did you go in 6th grade?
Well, after 6th grade, I moved to Fort Lauderdale with my stepdad and went to Pioneer Middle and then Western High School in Fort Lauderdale, and that's where I ended up graduating.
Oh, wow.
And then Broward College to round out my schooling. I've been to college a bunch of times. I've been there lots of times, but
good for you.
Nothing I could really nail down like you did. I mean, I became a firefighter and a paramedic, and I did some, schooling in that respect.
That's awesome.
Enough.
That's awesome. No, I went straight through. I was like, I'm just going to go barreling through college and my master's degree, like boom, boom, boom.
You went
and
all
I'm
the
working
way.
full time.
Oh, fantastic.
I did.
Okay, so
working full time.
You say by 24 that was done. Had the kids come along by then?
No, by 26 is when I met my ex and I got married. That was another, oh God, he was my intern. We won't go into the whole detail, but he was my intern.
Yeah.
We didn't even date. We were best friends. And then all of a sudden he proposed and I said, okay, why not? He's cute. Yeah. He is cute. He really is. My ex is very cute. So we got married and we were married for 15 years and we made 2 beautiful children, which I have.
Yes.
And we lived in a beautiful house, which I also have. Thank you very much. So,
well, I mean, you made a good run of it. I mean, it's sad when things fall apart, but it looks like you had a good thing going for quite some time, and you made some
very
beautiful
appreciative.
Kids.
Yeah, and I'm always very grateful. I never regret that, and this is another phase of my life.
Right.
It's just like I tell my kids all the time. How a person's character is measured not by who they are, but how they behave in the worst of times, and you have to make the best of it.
Correct.
So
you get out of school. Let's see. I'm guessing you graduated high school maybe 85.
86, yeah.
86. Oh, I'm a class of 86. I graduated a year early. So yeah.
Oh.
Class of 86 rules.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So 86, and then you got out of college probably in the early 90s. And what were you doing with in the meantime? Did you have to work?
Throughout college, Well, throughout college, I was working as a financial analyst, as a junior financial analyst for Dow Chemical. Yeah. And then I worked for Polaroid, Latin America, and that's where I met my ex. And then I worked for Burger King Corporation here in Miami as a data analyst. I kept changing jobs. I'm like, okay, another job.
Well, just so you know, I have seen the big building at Burger King. They have a very big office there, headquarters, right? Some kind.
Yeah, that's where their headquarters is. Yep, Burger King headquarters is here. And then after Burger King, what else did I work? Burger King, then Acer Computers. Wow. Then, Beckman Coulter, and most recently I was at Cisco Telecommunications. So I telecommuted from home for like 5 years, which was the biggest blessing in the world because as a single mom, I could pick up my kids, take them to dental appointments and everything, and I could continue working from my phone or from my laptop from anywhere. Fantastic. And then most recently, I changed careers again because why not? Right. And I became a grant writer. During this time, while I was at Miami Book Fair in Miami, that was Miami Film Festival. I was with them for like
a what writer?
7 or 8 years. Miami Book Fair.
No, what kind of a writer?
Grant writer.
What's a grant writer?
A grant writer is a person who writes to receive free funds from either government agencies or personal, not personal, but personal foundations, private foundations. For nonprofit organizations. So,
is this for schooling or is this only for nonprofits?
No, mostly for nonprofits. But if you're an artist, for example, or a filmmaker, and you don't have to have a nonprofit, but there are grants out there for filmmakers and for artists that just need a hand, and you just got to know how to look for it.
That's an important thing and an important aspect when you're trying to make a film is to get the funding, the money, and you were helping in that.
Well, I mean, with Miami International Film Festival and the Book Fair, I was getting funding for these events, for large events. So I was going with, tourist, Miami-Dade tourism kind of things, associations or whatever, they gave grants. American Airlines would give a grant because obviously we're going to bring all these people in from different parts of the world. So those kind of grants I currently work for. So that was, I started doing that. And while I was working at Cisco, I would always do that on the side. So I'd have that as a full-time job, mom, actress, writing grants on the side. How did I do this? I don't know. I still don't know.
You're a hustler, Indiana Jones.
I am.
And you have desires. You have different aspects. You get bored with one thing, it seems.
I like to call myself, I am a diamond, not in the rough. I am cut. I have so many facets to me, but all of them sparkle and shine. And currently I work, and I don't know if I can say this, but I will, and I don't care. I work for United Way of Miami-Dade, and I am their senior grant writer. So I decided to leave the corporate world to help the world. Dun-da-da.
Fantastic. You are a superhero.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I try. And raising two men to not become delinquents.
Okay.
That's my greatest achievement. So there you go. 2 young men.
So the kids are doing okay?
Yes. I have a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old, and thank goodness neither one of them have ever given me a moment's worry.
Not even a little bit? Come on. They're boys.
I worry for them to become the best them that they can be, but no, they're really good, and thankfully they have good friends, and they're good.
You did good, really Indiana good. Jones. Now,
we all look.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, and you're continuing to do good. I know I've done, quite a few things with the United Way, and I had no idea about that. Sometimes you do charitable events, and you wonder, is that money going to a good place? Is it worth it? And you are in the know. You tell me about the United Way.
I'll tell you something that most people don't know, and I know that right now is like a big campaign time in a lot of different corporations, and they wonder, well, why should we give United Way our money when we can give it directly to this place or that place or this place? Well, we take that money, and together with grants that we receive, federal grants, and other funds and other fundraising that we do, we actually double the amount of money that you give us. So instead of giving $50, let's say, to Big Brothers Big Sisters, for whom I also worked for a little bit,
Cool.
right before I started at United Way. So instead of giving them just $25 or $50, we'll actually duplicate that and give them $100 to programs that help young people in the community. So, and we are helping. How can I say this? Now I'm like, okay, now I'm on my United Way soapbox.
Oh, do it. We got time. I want to hear about it.
Oh, wonderful. We have 3 pillars of what makes society and a community stable, and what makes a family stable and an individual stable. And that's education, financial stability, and health. So those are the 3 pillars that we focus upon, and we help. One thing, I bet you didn't know that. Did you know that we have a veterans program?
I did not know that.
So we have something called Mission United that's nationwide, and we actually help veterans that are trying to get reacclimated into the civilian world again, or the civilian life, by helping them trying to get a job, by helping them with health issues, mental health issues, everything. A veteran can come to us and say, I don't know how I'm going to make it through this month. I don't know how we're going to pay our mortgage. And we have funds put aside for just that. So we can we can at least cover them for a month, let's say, until we can help them find a job and get stable. Or if they're a wounded veteran, getting them to the right resources to help them thrive.
How cool is that? You see a lot of movies about veterans that come back and, I can't acclimate back to the real world. I got PTSD. And you are instrumental in that. I did not know that the United Way even did that. I thought they had to go through their Veterans Association or something.
And here's the thing. One of the things that United Way does is that we work together with, I don't know if you have 211 where you're at, but it's our information line. So we gather, what we do is we kind of like partner with hundreds of different agencies and put together all these resources. So instead of one person going here, no, come to us and we'll set you up. This is what you need here. We can go here. Let's give them a call. Let us help you.
So is there an office, or is there a bank of people, or is this on the phone that they can get a hold of United Way and get their services?
You can go to United Way at any one of your cities, because I know you're over there, but we're at UnitedWayMiami.org. So you go www.unitedwaymiami.org. And right now, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, we have all joined forces together to do what? To raise funds for the Bahamas. So if you want to volunteer to put stuff in a box, like you're like, okay, I gave $200, but I still don't feel like I'm part of this, this issue that's going on. Right. How can I help the Bahamas? Well, there is a warehouse that is receiving all this supplies. It's amazing. And American Airlines and JetBlue, a whole bunch of different airline companies has come to us and said, can you get us stuff and we'll put it on the plane? We have planes, you get the stuff, we'll put it all together. And that's what we do, because not only do we get all these nonprofit agencies all partnered up on one side, right, we also have all these corporations that are partnered up with us. So we have Ryder, we have American Airlines.
You keep mentioning American Airlines. My stepdad works there at Miami International Airport there. Yep.
And they're wonderful. They're super supportive. Publix, for example.
Publix. I used to work for Publix.
There you go. They are wonderful. Publix is wonderful. So you get the idea. We're kind of like, let's bring everybody together. Let's not look at all the differences we have. Let's bring everyone together, all these resources together for one goal.
Okay.
And to make Miami a stronger place.
2 other things of United Way, just to drive that home. You mentioned money, and then you mentioned goods. What would be your suggestion? Throw money at the problem or throw them goods?
For what?
What's the better thing to do? To give money or to give goods?
It's up to you. If you have the capacity to give $1,000, go for it. Give $1,000.
Or buy $1,000 worth of food. Well, what's better?
Or buy $1,000 worth of food and take it to one of these drop-off locations. But if you're a college student and you're like, dude, I have $5 to my name and I'm probably going to eat ramen for the next week,
right?
But you still want to help, we need volunteers. So if you go to www.volunteermiami.org, we have a database I'm telling you, that's why I'm a grant writer. I'm great at showcasing what these wonderful people do.
Yes, you are.
Miami, volunteermiami.org has a collection of not only helping out with the Bahamas, but all of these other organizations set up their needs, their volunteer needs, there on this site. So if you want to, run in a 5K, you can find that. If you want to help little old people dance a rumba on a Saturday afternoon, you can do that. Because we do that as well. We help aging, aging adults or
seniors,
older adults.
Yes.
We don't like to call them seniors, but, older adults to lead more productive and active lives.
Yes.
So they're not just sitting alone in a condo somewhere. We provide food for them. That's one of the things that we do during the storms is go to the different, elder housing locations and make sure that there's food and provisions for them for whatever they need.
How
We're
sweet
everywhere.
is that,
Doing a little bit of
Indiana
everything.
Jones? You are doing a little bit of everything. All right. And that's got to make your heart feel good after being in the corporate world. And now you're helping now you help to distribute the money with the grant writing.
Well, what I do is I actually write grants for our different programs, like the veterans, like the aging adults, like financial stability programs for women who are trying to leave dangerous home situations.
Oh, that's important.
So I find the funding to be able to provide these services to these people and to even give them funds if they need them.
So important. That is beautiful. All right. Talking to Indiana Jones on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I never know where these are going to go, and I'm so glad I'm talking to you and learning more about you. You all right, straight from Queens, 12 years old, up in Queens, but parents came from Cuba. Oh, man, and dad's an accountant, mom's a teacher. Are they still around?
My dad passed away about 20 years ago.
Oh.
My mom is just turned 82.
Yes.
And she's one of my biggest fans. She's so cute. She'll actually watch my channel. She'll watch my different episodes over and over again. And I keep telling her, it doesn't work that way because she wants my viewership to go up. And I keep telling her, it doesn't work that way. But she's so adorable.
Oh,
and I'm like,
God.
okay, whatever.
Yeah,
She
just
wants to
leave it
watch
on
me.
loop. Leave it on loop.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
what is it with Cuban women? My grandma's 90 years old and still going strong, still drives.
I don't know.
And out in the
Yeah,
yard.
mine too. Mine too. And she's like a whiz at like everything internet, and she's scary. She's like, it's really scary. She'll like go into it and she goes, "Did you pay your taxes yet?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, could you please?" And she goes, "Your taxes are due. I already see them." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Nazi.
Mom, I'm grown, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I go home, mommy, stop feeding me, mommy. And this is my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Mom will hold me down while mommy feeds me. So yeah. It's a thing, man. I love it. Yeah. Family is very important, and you've grown two boys, and you. Okay, yes. So you got one out in the world. What's he doing?
Well, he's quasi out in the world. Well, my eldest, Ethan, he wanted to go on a different path. He actually went to a magnet school for engineering and decided to become a watchmaker. So he went to the Nicholas Hayek Swiss Watchmaking School. Yes, that's the name of it.
That's precision work.
Yeah, and he actually was one of the youngest students to finish the program, and he was then hired by Swatch Corporation.
Come on, that's fantastic.
But I know, right? Like,
how many Swatches did I have in the 80s?
Right? But do you know that Swatch actually is this big, huge conglomerate that owns a whole bunch of other huge watch companies?
I think I may have heard that on NPR.
Yeah.
How I made this, how I built this.
Yeah.
A fantastic company.
So now he's looking,
goodness.
Yeah. So now he's looking to go into the retail side because that's where they make their real money, you can imagine.
Okay.
And
very enterprising young man. Good.
Very enterprising. My youngest, Luke, is in high school. He's in a magnet program for film production, but he wants to become a music producer.
Do it.
Or sound engineer.
I talked to a lady on this podcast, Miosha I can't. Oh, yeah. Was it Brown? No, okay. But she started out doing music videos, and now she's a filmmaker. So yeah, start out with music videos on the beach in Miami. Of course,
that's awesome.
That's the spot.
Can I ask you a question? How did you find me?
Oh, on Instagram. You seem very interesting, and you're pretty cool. I said, I want to talk to this lady. That sounds great.
Cool. Well, great. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and I hope other people find you. Everybody look for Indiana Jones, and I'll definitely
check out my channel.
I did, and the best. It's very professional. I'm looking at your promo that you have right on top. Who did that for you? Did you do that yourself?
Well, so there's some things that I do by myself when I just like, okay, I'm bored. Let me go live on YouTube and make something. That's pretty much what I do.
Yes.
But I do have scheduled productions where I work with, guess what? All the independent filmmakers that we've become friends, and I'm like, hey, I want to make a video. So all the costumes and set designs, all of those are pretty much made by me.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll come up with, let's do Hocus Pocus for Halloween, or let's do Tony Montana for Father's Day, or Aliens for Easter. Everybody's like, why did you pick Aliens for Easter? I'm like, okay, number one, they have a movie called The Resurrection, and number two, they have eggs. So what, aliens. And it's my favorite movie. And I said, I like how you got there.
I like exactly how you got there.
Oh. And it's exactly it. And then, for Mother's Day, absolutely fabulous, because, Edwina Monsoon is one of the best mothers ever. So I just, like I said, I love the movies that I portray as much as I can, and try to find other people that are just as enthusiastic.
Oh, just looking at your Hocus Pocus, who were the two other people? Because it looked like I was watching the movie.
So Alina Islingya, I can't say her name. She's a beautiful Russian actress, just gorgeous. And then the other one is Anna Maria, and playing Mary and Sarah. But they were so adorable. The only problem I have is I do those productions, like all those sets are designed here in my house. And so my neighbors have gotten used to the fact that I have weird people here at my house all the time, because they were dancing around in the front of my house because they were so happy with their costumes. They loved them because I put it together. And so they're dancing around being themselves, and I'm screaming out, like, get in here, we got to film. And
you're scaring the neighbors. That usually happens.
People come and they just, you put somebody in the right costume and they get into that. Same thing with Aliens. That was Christina Rodriguez. She was an ex-cop.
She's the one with the headband on, right?
Yes, she's playing Vasquez.
Vasquez, yes.
Vasquez. And it was so funny because she's like, you actually got the thing with the gun? And I'm like, yeah, I actually did. I put that together. Wow. She was going around my house. I was like, okay, my gosh. She's like Rambo meets the Predator meets the Aliens. It was too funny. Amazing. She had so much fun.
So what was the first production that you did, and who was involved? Who was on the? Who was the director and the film operator and the boom man? And give shout outs if you can.
All one person. One person. So the first episode was me, and you can go into my Halloween one. It was the first episode, and I tried to make it like a 21-minute, half an hour show that you would watch on TV, because I thought, I could sell this, but no, that never happened.
Yeah.
So Anthony Dons was the director, filmmaker, editor, everything.
Shout out.
And I made the sets and the costumes. My children were my co-stars because I just started doing this, and I was like, okay, come here. You're going to play Igor. You're going to play this. Just go. Do I have to say anything? Don't. Just don't say anything. I'll take care of the rest of it. And, and now Anthony Dons actually has a horror film called A Doll for Edgar. And it's out there in all these horror film fests right now. It's a short film, but it's really creepy.
Did you get to be a part of that?
No, I didn't. I was supposed to make the doll, but he filmed it in another city, and I couldn't get up there.
Okay. So, hey, that's good. It's good that people that you're working with are progressing and getting better, and that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And then I have to mention my other filmmakers, Jonathan Vargas, who I adore. He is like my nephew from another mother. I don't know what you call it, but he is wonderful. And I've been in at least 4 or 5 of his productions. The last one is called Oh gosh, I can't remember it. It's a horror film. I get to kill people.
What?
That was fun. Yeah, that one was fun. I get to kill people and feed them to my handicapped son. What people don't understand is my handicapped son happens to be a zombie. That's why he's handicapped.
Ooh.
Can't run as fast as the other boys. Right. It's very interesting. And then, but I'm in another dark comedy called Side Effects, where I play a mad scientist who creates the drug that actually makes people into zombies. And
I want to see
so
these films. Where do I see them?
Go to Annie Jones. Go to Indie, INDIE, ANNIE, JONES, YouTube. Go to my acting playlist, and there's a couple of them that you can see there.
That's fantastic.
Of short films.
I'll be doing it.
Yeah. Two other people I have to mention: the Alfonso brothers.
Yes.
And they're from Alfonso Brothers. Oh, and Jonathan Vargas has Cinefreak Productions. Alfonso Brothers, they have Alfonso Productions. And then Christopher Stoltz, who also played Lurch in the Addams Family episode.
Come on, that's great. Tall guy, then.
Yeah. Tall guy, yes. And I can't remember the name of his production company. It's Alien something or other. Oh, I can't remember now.
No, that's okay. I mean, if you want to send me all the links, I'll put them on the show notes for sure.
Yes.
But that's fantastic that you get to work with all these people. I mean, my main thing was radio, and you're getting all this film and television experience, even though it's not necessarily television. You're showing that if you have something that you want to create and nobody wants to back you up, put it out there. Put it on YouTube, because creators want to create, you want to get paid, you want to make some money, but if you have the desire, if you have the desire to put it out there, do it.
And speaking of TV, I am now using Bonjour America TV Studios, so I've done 3 productions there for my channel. Yeah.
Where's that?
It's there. It's on my channel. Well, we just use their studio because it's a French studio, so it's like I don't speak French, so I just use their studio. Every so often to do my show. It's like, okay, let me do my episode here.
How did you get involved with Bonjour Entertainment and Bonjour Studios?
Because I was here's the roundabout way.
Okay,
so first I was in a movie called Interview with Marilyn, and I play a barfly called Sherry, who says that Marilyn looks more like Greta Garbo than Marilyn. Anyway, so the director of that film liked me so much, he's like, I'm going to put you in a steampunk film. So he puts me in a steampunk film. The producer of that steampunk film happens to be the owners of Bonjour America TV Studios in Little Havana. I'm serious. It's on 8th Street and 10th Avenue. It's like the heart of Little Havana. Behind a Goodwill. That's where my studio is now. So, but, that's how you do it. It's connections. It's just connections.
That's fantastic.
So from steampunk to this, Maryland steampunk to this. There you go.
Oh, that's great. Indie Annie Jones. Annie.
Yeah.
Miami. Oh, I love it. You're taking me back home. You're making me homesick right now. And just mentioning Calle. Oh,
wait. Do you want to freak out a little more? Do you know the Cuban abuela, Jenny Lorenzo?
Who?
The Cuban abuela. She's the one that does all those funny videos.
Yeah. Yes,
Jenny Lorenzo.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of it, but go ahead.
Okay. Go to my playlist called The Cuban Abuelas, and you'll see the two of us together. She started that here in Miami.
How about
together?
That?
We did a couple of episodes. Yeah. We did a couple of cooking episodes. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, okay. All right. I'm so giddy. I'm smiling. I'm laughing over here. I'm having a good time with you, Indie Annie Jones. And now,
I love it.
Do you have an IMDb page by any chance?
I do, but here's the thing. I can't use Annie Jones because there's an Australian actress called Annie Jones.
Okay. So who are you?
You go under Ana Margarita Jones, because let's just screw up with the name Jones anyway. Ana Margarita Jones. You'll find it there on IMDb.
Ana Margarita Jones. ANNA?
Jones. ANA. Oh, Chico Cubano, man. ANA.
Hey. I know the Americans put in the extra A.
Yeah, they put in the extra N. That's the Anglo way. No, Ana Margarita Jones.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know I gotta eat the Señora Jones, and I'm like, I love going to Pasteur with my mom.
Oh yeah.
So there's Señora Jones. Yeah,
Jones.
of course I am.
Yeah,
Señora.
that's me, Jones.
Jones. I got all the Jones in the world here, baby.
Oh, you're making me laugh, kid. You're making me laugh. Oh, that's fantastic. There you are, right there, Anna Margarita Jones.
You found me.
Oh
Yay.
yeah. Oh, definitely putting that in the show notes as well. Let the people know all about you.
There you go.
So, okay, okay. I'm going through some of the names here, and I'm seeing some questionable names, but they look like a lot of fun. A lot of independent films.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I only did a voiceover for that one.
Oh, that's fine.
With the kitty cat.
That's
kitty
fine.
cat.
But go.
Right? Okay.
Well, go through them. Neuro. Tell me about Neuro. 2015.
Oh, Neuro. Okay, so Neuro. This is interesting. So, have you ever heard of a film race?
No.
Okay, so film racing. Let's go through film racing.
Please.
Film racing is when you are given a topic, character name, a prop, a theme, or what do they call it, a genre, and you have to make a film within 24 to 48 hours.
Oh.
And that means like writing it, filming it, finding the actors, editing it, getting the music, everything within 24 or 48 hours. So I've been in 24-hour film races, but during Neuro, I was actually in 3 different teams. Oh. Believe it or not.
I'm believing
within
it.
48 hours. Within 48 hours. I am the most energetic 51-year-old you'll ever meet, I think. I don't know where I get it from.
Dig it.
And I have a slow metabolism. Go figure. Anyway.
Do not slow down. I'm 50.
I do not.
I can kick, I can stretch, and kick.
There you go.
I'm
oh, my
50.
God. I love her. I'm 50 years old. I love her.
50 years old. I've been waiting so long
Neuro,
to do that.
Neuro was a very interesting... I played a TV producer where this woman is interviewing this gentleman who came up with this product called Neuro. It's an app.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Google Vision glasses, but they're contact lenses. The problem is that the app had an issue.
Ooh.
Where the contact lens kind of melded with your brain, and it started having its own artificial intelligence and trying to control the wearer of the contact.
I think that's very prophetic. I think it's happening.
It is. It is.
I think Elon Musk wants a chip in his brain, and he wants us all to have one too.
So that was Neuro. Ask me another one. I love this. Like,
wow,
I remember all the films I was in.
No, keep going. Love and Hostages, 2016. You were the wedding guest.
I was a wedding guest. I was in two different scenes. I was actually supposed to play the mom of the main character, but they said I looked too young, and I'm like, oh, baby,
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
are way too young.
Oh, they said I look too young to have a 30-year-old. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll take it that way.
I could be older. I could be older.
I could be older, yeah. Love and Hostages is basically a very cute romantic comedy, and I think it's available on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And it's a very cute romantic comedy where there is a girl who's desperate and a boy who's also desperate. They both have issues with their siblings, and a wild night out. They just met up at a bar, one night stand, or so they thought. Ooh. And then there's a lockdown in her apartment building because there's a shooter gone crazy. So they're stuck together in an apartment for like 24 hours when they never really wanted to see each other after the light of day. It was very interesting, very cute. Look it up, people.
Okay, let's go further. Let's go further.
Go for it.
Yes, more. See, Gabby's Revenge. 2016.
Gabby's Revenge.
Wow, 2016 was a good year.
Yeah, I was busy.
Yes,
I haven't done much this year. I gotta get on it. So that was a Jonathan Vargas. Yeah, Jonathan Vargas and Cinefreak Productions. He cast me as Gabby's mom, and Gabby was an ex-veteran, came back, and found out that mobsters had killed her sister. So
no.
Gabby was going to take her revenge.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Good production. And then you have Nothing But Ants.
That's a good one.
In 2016.
That's where I was. I was a neurotic. That was Alfredo Buanza. And it was an interesting topic that he chose. And it was about shooters, about these, what happened recently. All these You know, guys that go out and just shoot people. He was the son of a neurotic mother who was ignoring him. He was, you know, isolated and kind of a loner, and he just lost his mind, and he saw that people were nothing but ants.
You know, so, I've heard things like if aliens came down, would we be just ants to them?
Mm-hmm.
You know, by the time that any advanced civilization or advanced entity could come to this planet, they have to be tens of times, hundreds of times smarter than us, and more advanced than us. So, yeah.
And you know what the sad thing is?
What?
You know what the sad thing is? I have a theory. Okay, this is a weird theory, but I like it. I think that advanced alien race is actually us in the future. And we come back and we're like, oh, let's just tear this place apart. It's not even worth saving this world.
I think the human race will survive. You know, I watch enough Doctor Who to know. Yeah,
oh my gosh!
I believe in that.
Did you see my Doctor Who episode? You please tell me you saw my Doctor Who episode.
Well, who were you in?
I play Jodie, what's her name? I forgot her name. But I have a British actor, Francis Allen, who plays Capaldi.
Yeah,
and I found a TARDIS. Where would a TARDIS be in Miami? Hialeah. In the back of a warehouse of Hialeah, we find there is a TARDIS there.
Oh, I find it for you in Hialeah. It's okay.
It's okay. It's from China, but you know, it's there in Hialeah.
Oh, that's
But
beautiful.
it was a fully functional with lights and everything.
You can't say fully functional. It wasn't bigger on the inside, or as one of them said, smaller on the inside. Or no, smaller on the outside, right? Wasn't
smaller on the outside? Yeah. There you go.
I can't. Was it Donna that said, "Oh, it's smaller on the outside"? I've never heard of it that way.
Yes, it was Donna. She was one of my favorite ones.
Oh, Dr.
I can't believe you're Doctor Who.
Yeah,
child, we have so much in common. I cannot believe that you love Doctor Who.
Nerd.
Look at that. What a little nerd you are. Little geek.
Yes.
It's very in. It's very chic now.
Yeah. Oh, ever since the Revenge of the Nerds. Are you kidding me? The 80s, baby.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah, I know we went off on a little tangent, and you said nothing but ants and the shootings. I think they're trying to ban assault rifles. Any ideas on that? Thoughts?
I mean, those things, you know, I understand people with their rights and all this stuff, but people, let's be realistic. There are certain weapons that really should not be in the hands of the public.
I'm with you.
And yes, people are going to find a way, but if you make it less readily available, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the issue that we should be really looking at is mental health.
Yeah.
We have too many broken people out there, and they are desperate, and they are crying for help, and we're not listening. And
now we're back to the United Way.
And we're back to United Way, where we do listen.
That's
fantastic.
There you go. Oh, Indy Annie Jones. And now is that the real name, Anna Margarita Jones? Is that what you go by? Or
Yeah, Anna Margarita Jones. I kept my ex's... I kept his name because I kept his children.
Yeah, no, it'd be kind of confusing. It's confusing to the kids.
But like in Miami, I'm exotic.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jones.
Of course.
So exotic. And of course, my mother was very insulted that I didn't do the Cuban thing or the Spanish thing and to keep my maiden name.
Yeah.
And I was like, my maiden name is Ray. I'm not going to be Annie Ray Jones.
Yeah, I have way too many names if I really went to it.
There you go. But any Ray would be a little too country. Too Tennessee.
No, you're not in the music. You're not in the music scene. You're in the film
Andy
scene.
Ray now.
Andy Ray.
On stage we got Andy Ray. Andy Ray Jones.
All
right. Away, Andy Ray.
We're in 2016 still. Lovely thoughts going through the film of Indy Annie Jones.
Oh my gosh, you're going through the whole filmography.
Why not? There's not that many, and they're great. They sound great.
On IMDb, they're not. Lovely Thoughts is actually about my daughter who gets killed by her boyfriend.
Paranoid schizophrenic believes he is being chased by two men. During his escape, his car breaks down, and he is rescued.
Lovely Thoughts.
He is rescued by two people with the intention. Ooh, okay.
Oh, I got confused. I'm sorry. That's lovely thoughts. Okay, yeah, there I play a store owner.
Okay.
At Robert Is Here. If you remember Robert Is Here, that was one of the locations that we filmed.
I lived in Homestead, right down the street.
There you go.
That was Robert's Fruit Stand. It was my favorite, man. Yeah.
Yep. So we filmed the whole
Florida
day
City,
there.
I guess. I guess officially it's Florida City, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I got my movies confused. Oh my gosh.
No, it's so many. They really. I mean, I said there wasn't that many, but there are enough. And you remember the people that you work with. That says a lot about you. Is that you develop these relationships with these coworkers, and they become long lasting, and that's fantastic.
Well, I don't consider them coworkers. We're all artists, and it's amazing because you meet somebody and then you're like, oh my gosh, I know somebody. When somebody's talking to you about their film, oh, I know somebody that's perfect for that character. And then you get them involved. And all of a sudden it's like this big family. And it's hilarious when it's like right now we're going to be working on the full version of Side Effects. Oh. And I was commenting to Jonathan. I was like, because it was a short film. He won so many awards for that film. He decided to make it a long version. And one of the guys that's going to be in there is in the film that he cast, that he didn't know that. I was like, did you know he played my pimp in this other film? And he goes, get out. I was like, no, he played my... So, yeah, it's like, I'll be like, I'll have somebody as my husband in one film, and then it's like, and then I meet the girlfriend, and she goes, do you know that you were like with my boyfriend as your husband? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I get that.
Well, and then you see a lot of productions that use the same actors in different characters, and that is the reason is you start to develop these relationships, and it's people helping people. Now, the other side of it is that yes, there's a lot of cutthroat to it, and I'm glad that you're the type of person that would help people along. Hey, I know somebody who's perfect for that. Yeah. Let me get him another job. Yeah. Let me get her another job. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these indie films do not pay a lot. It's like, oh, here, you're going to get food and real time. But you know what? It's the experience. Yes. My classroom is working with these student filmmakers, and it's been wonderful because they really have helped me expand, I think, more than, I wasn't an actress before. I was, like I said, just a mom. Yes. But they allowed me to explore and, here, be a homeless woman. Go sit on the... And it's hilarious note, by the way, side note.
Please.
So I was working for Big Brothers Big Sisters when I got cast to be a homeless woman for a video for United Way. Oh. And I was like, wait, I can't do that because I'm working for this nonprofit. I think this would be... I said, call my friend Christina. So she's in the video playing a homeless woman because obviously we wouldn't use a real homeless person for a video.
But a character study, you have plenty. Sadly, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Very sadly. So. Wow. But, yeah, it's always good to help. I think, the only person, the way I see it, especially in the arts, and this to any actors that are listening out there,
please
do not compete against anyone. The only competition you have is yourself.
Right.
Are you bringing your best self to that audition that will really stand out? You're not competing against the other people because you don't know what that casting director is going to hone in upon. One time I wasn't selected because they didn't want somebody with green eyes. They said, no, we really don't want anybody with green eyes. And I'm like, all right, well, give me contact lenses or something, but that's just that's not what they want.
Interesting thing about the entertainment business, and if you watch the news, you'll see different ethnic people on the news. Okay, there's a white guy, there's an Asian girl, there's a blonde, there's a redhead, and the entertainment business is probably the only place that I know of that you could discriminate like that, and it's completely legal. Yes. And people will be like, yeah, that happens. Sure. I fired him because he was too fat or too skinny or his teeth were funny or something. Yeah. He refused to cut his hair the proper way.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's funny because I get discriminated all the time because I'm a white Latina. I'm a white, blue-eyed Hispanic. Yeah. And God forbid I don't look like Sofia Vergara and I don't sound like her. So when I go to a casting and they're looking for a Latina and they're like, oh, no, you're not. And I'm like, I am Hispanic.
Right.
I said, you're the one that's making us look like this or that or the other. First of all, Hispanic is not a race.
Right.
It's
Right.
It's just a heritage.
Right.
There's Chinese Hispanics and Black Hispanics and, all time. Not Chinese, but Asian. I shouldn't say Chinese. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
No, it's
all types.
It's what people have come to know as a stereotype. Yeah, my brother's blonde hair
Because Hollywood
with freckles,
feeds it. Yeah.
and he's half Cuban
Yeah.
like me. I mean, I guess
Exactly.
I may look more like the stereotypical Cuban, but I still pass for a white guy for most of my life.
There you go. Yeah.
But I am third generation. The blood is thinning, and I'm getting into the melting pot with everybody else, and I enjoy it.
There you go.
Come on into the melting pot.
The more mixture, the more beautiful we become. Actually.
Oh yeah, we'll all be brown eventually. just one shade or another.
Exactly.
So,
Inside or out.
Yes. Illume the movie, legal office receptionist, 2016.
Oh yeah, that was like a last minute thing. Illume the movie is actually about bullying, so I wanted to partake in that because I was bullied, so I wanted to be a part of that.
Well, tell me
just because of the theme.
Yeah, how so was the bullying, and when was that? It was only in New York, or was it when you came here to Miami? You said something.
It was in
about
Miami.
Yeah.
Well, we were bullied. We were bullied in New York when we first got there because we were the first spics on the block.
Right.
So they treated us like crap, and then they got to know us, and then they loved us. And then when we left Miami, they were all in tears and crying. And it was hilarious. I know. Still in touch with some of those people up there.
Yeah.
And
the kids are
but
cruel.
no, the real bad bullying happened here in Catholic school. St. Timothy's. Anyway, not to say nothing bad about the school or the teachers.
Right.
But yeah, the kids were just like, I was a new kid and I wasn't a follower and I wasn't about, wearing the Jordache jeans and the Nike sneakers and stuff.
Oh, so, I begged Mom for $11 Converse from Jay Byron's.
There you go.
Mom, it's just $11.
Jay Byron's.
No, we're going to Winn-Dixie. $3 Bobos. They're in the bin.
No, honey. I got the shoes from theirs, okay? Forget Jay's. That was like Jordan Marsh or whatever it was called now. That was way above. No. We went to Zaire. Theirs.
For those that are listening, this is the new walking tour of Miami. Everything that we mentioned, you're going to take a walk through those. Oh, yeah.
In the 80s, yeah.
You have to walk through in the 80s. That's right. You have to get a time machine first and go to Jay Byron's.
Yeah. Jay Byron's, Jordan Marsh, and Zaire. Jordan and Luria's. Oh, my goodness.
I think I bought a ring at Luria's. Yeah.
Luria's and Service Merchandise. All those stores, they're all gone now.
Oh.
Burdines, they're all gone. Burdines, that's gone.
Oh, don't fancy it up. It's Burdines. Come on.
But anyway, it was a regular type of bullying. But one thing I've learned.
So what is a regular type of bullying in the 80s?
I don't know. Like they would in the 80s, they would pull my hair. They would say my hair was greasy. They would say I was a nerd. They would, they would call me things. They would take my lunchbox. It was a daily torment. It was fine. I got you know what it is you get to used to a weird normal.
Yeah.
Until I got to high school, it's like, wow, I can make friends. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, usually the boys that don't know any better, they kick the girls in the shins, call them a duty ed. That means they like them.
Yeah.
Don't like me so much.
Back then.
Yes.
But not anymore. But, I don't know if the boys liked me or not. They were all mean to me. Everybody was like, it was very hard. It was very hard on me. And there were other issues going on at home. And it was, transition from New York to Miami. It was a lot of things.
But, I mean, at this point, was your mom and dad, were they doing stuff in the field that they were trained in? Were they, with the accounting and the teaching? Or were they having
my dad became a vice president for a development corporation when the development was big back in the 80s in Miami.
Go Dad.
And my mom was a realtor. So it worked.
Go Mom.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
No, they did well. We were just very thrifty and stuff because, life, whatever. And I wasn't into name brands and stuff. And that was so 80s back then,
Oh, yeah.
And girls going to the Big Five Club and stuff. So I wasn't part of that societal thing. So that's fine. I was my own person, and I think that's the most important thing. So
I'm sure you had your group of friends, no?
Very small.
Okay.
And I had to be careful because they had to be careful because I didn't want them to get picked on. So
right.
I hung out with the nuns. I had lunch with Sister Sister Assumpta and Sister Mary Margaret, they're cool.
And you were going to say, I'm sorry.
Oh, that I was going to say, one of the things that helped me, that was 5th and 6th grade. By 7th grade, I wised up, and I said, I can't tell my parents because it just gets me picked on even more. I can't tell the teachers because it gets me picked on, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
A lot of kids won't tell you because it just makes issues worse if parents go to talk to the teachers, and the teachers talk to the parents, and it gets back to the kids, and then the kids take it out on you, so...
You're so right.
So one thing I've learned is people don't mess with crazy. And you don't have to do a thing. It's the insinuation that you're crazy. And I guess that's where I started acting. So, for example, they would take my lunch and they would smash it or step on it or put dirt in it or whatever, So one day I was, all the lunch boxes were there waiting, at the cubbies. And I had gotten to the room earlier, so I took all the lunch boxes up and put them on top of the cubbies. And they were all freaking out. What were you doing with the lunch boxes? It's like, nothing. I wasn't doing anything. Then when they went to lunch and they started eating, I was just looking at them with this face of horror, like, you don't taste it? That kind of thing. And they just looked at me like I had poisoned them and, spit it out. They were throwing up. The teacher was asking me if I had poisoned them. I said, I didn't do a thing. Try any one of the sandwiches. And, of course, I hadn't done anything.
Right.
But it was the insinuation of something they didn't know. And I guess that's where acting started. And after that, they stopped picking on me so much because they realized she's capable, because of everything we've done to her, she's capable of almost anything. So, and sadly, that's where a lot of these shooters are coming from, is desperation, desperate loneliness, and they want control back. And, not that I feel sorry for them, but I do, because they're children too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little warped. But, if you don't have the right basis, so anyway, that's my foray into bullying.
Yeah.
That's it. And after that, I was fine.
All right, kids, don't bully. Treat everybody.
Don't bully.
Treat everybody right, man. Just
because
eventually they're all going to grow up, and you're going to have to deal with them. You're going to have to be.
Well, not only that, but school is your first teaching in humanity.
Yes.
And if you learn to be good to each other, imagine the adults that you become and the world that you can create. So stop bullying, guys. Stop it. I hear about kids committing... No, it's really sad when you see these kids committing suicide because they've been told that they're worthless and they're disgusting and they're this, and why don't you go kill yourself? And it's like, these children have to learn that their words have consequences, not just by making someone cry and making someone feel bad, but by truly damaging someone in their psyche and in their heart and in their soul. So be good, say good things, lift each other up. Don't compete against each other. Compete against your best self.
Good words, Indiana Jones and Margarita Jones.
Yay.
I'm having hanging out on the What Makes You Famous podcast. You're in Miami, Florida, my hometown, and I'm in Conway, Arkansas. Wishing probably I was in my hometown. I missed the beach.
I hear Arkansas is a really nice place to live.
It is. That's how I got convinced to move here. Conway, Arkansas is built very well. Their Conway core combines all your electric, your phone, your cable into one bill. It consolidates it, makes it a little less expensive to live here. A lot less expensive than Miami, for sure. Maybe I have.
Do you have kids?
I do.
Ooh.
113 that's with me, and another 24 that's in Gainesville at the.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, just fantastic. Yeah, two girls, and you got the two boys.
Oh, there you go. I got the two boys, and I'll tell you something. I was made to be a boy mama. I love having boys. I would have had 5 boys, 6 boys. I would have loved it. Whole baseball team of boys. I love it. I guess I'm a little bit of a tomboy. Well, I like horror films and Aliens and Rambo and I'm watching I watched JoJo and the Bizarre Adventure and the Golden Wind. Okay, you're like, what the heck? Yes, I watch Japanese anime. I have no idea what they're saying, and I can barely follow the storyline, but it's cool.
That was gonna be my next question: subs or dubs? And obviously, it's subs. If you even have a sub at all.
What do you mean?
Subtitles or dubbed in English?
Subtitles. No, never watch anything dubbed. You watch it subtitled, even if it's French or Japanese or German or whatever. I like to listen to the original intonations.
I'm living in two different screens, so I don't have time to read while I'm watching the show. Come on. No, I get it though. I get it. I'm starting to get into My Hero Academia a little bit, playing the video game that comes along with it on the Switch. And yeah, hey, the 13-year-old's getting me into it, and I'm very excited about that.
All you need to go is to a comic book convention, and then you got to cosplay. That's how you get into cosplay.
I am in the comic book conventions. I'm the DJ. I just did.
Do you cosplay?
Yes.
Do you dress up?
I do an OC, an original character. I light up my suspenders and my bow tie and put my green hair on, and I become Dr. What.
Become Dr. What?
Yes, my radio station is What Radio, so I become Dr. What. It's my OC.
Nice.
Sometimes he has big white hair like Doc Brown in Back to the Future. Sometimes he has green hair like the Joker, but
nice.
But he's always Dr. What. And
I like that.
My original character. I haven't cosplayed as a known character. Really, I mean, I wear a superhero T-shirt here and there, and I have a lot of buttons from Marvel and DC and the 80s as well. But yeah, so continuing through your IMDb, Indy Annie Jones.
Oh goodness! Here we go.
Anna Margarita Jones, and I'm excited. You know so much about your films, and you still remember everything. I mean, just a little prompting here and there, but. Our Final Days Together Part 2. I didn't even know there was a Part 1.
Well, there's a Part 1, and then there's a Part 3, which we just, it's about to be released, and I think he's waiting for Halloween because that's the horror film where I get to kill people. Yay!
So, this is a series. This is great.
It's a series. But the thing is, the Part 3, it's kind of like Star Wars, the way he did it. So he did Part 1, he did Part 2, and then Part 3 is actually a prequel to Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
Because Part 1 and 2 got so popular and everybody liked my character, they said, we need to know more about her. So, all right, fine. Okay,
all right. I think you just spoiled it for me, that we need to know about your character. I don't think Veronica fares very well.
Veronica is the lady that's very welcoming.
Uh-huh.
Imagine it's a zombie apocalypse, and a young woman appears at her door, and she welcomes her in, and she offers her soup and what have you. And she talks about her poor little handicapped child, her poor son, I think his name was Stephen, and how he was handicapped and how she, has to do the best that she can to fend for both of them, and she can't leave him alone. And later on you find out, he's handicapped, but because he's, a zombie. So, yeah, she chops up people. She pulls them in with, the sweetness of honey and then kills them. But it's very ironic what happens to Veronica in the end.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
And these are all productions in Miami.
Yeah, all productions in Miami. Some of these are filmed in my home.
How fantastic!
That one was filmed in my home.
How fantastic!
Because I offer my home because, that way they have it, the whole weekend if they need it the whole weekend. And I'll be making, it's hilarious. If I'm not on set, I'm making cookies and snacks.
So you have actors and film crew all laying around in your house waiting to film their stuff, and you get them.
Soldiers walking around half bloody. My son actually played. My son Ethan.
Yes,
is the first ever teenage zombie that actually has braces on. Because why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. They get bit too. Why not?
Yeah, they get bit. Yeah. So, and it was hilarious when he decided, because he was all at full zombie makeup and his part was done.
Yes.
So it was Christmas time. It was like a week or two before Christmas. So he decides to go caroling with a makeup artist door to door as a zombie.
And how did the neighborhood take that?
Oh, they're used to it. It's hilarious because no, it really is because my friend will call me at midnight. She's Annie, my neighbor. She's like Olga. She's like my best friend, my sister, what have you.
Right.
She's Annie, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? And she's like, there's a black van backed up to the front door, and these 3 guys all dressed in black are getting out of the car, and they're opening the back, and I'm like, that's a film crew. And she's like, oh, okay. It's like, no, that's going to kill me. It's a film crew. She's like, oh, okay, I got it. All right. Imagine a black van or a white. I think it was a white van just packed up to my front door. And every guy I've ever known on a film crew is always wearing black. I don't. Just, I guess,
my
hides
goodness.
the sweat. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So, yeah.
you wear black, to hide yourself.
And there's,
They do the
we'll have
music
blood
too.
curdling screams. I have a neighbor that's a cop. He's used to it. If God forbid anybody ever attacked me, they won't know if it's real or not because they've heard so many blood curdling screams. I have had to fake a cemetery on my front lawn.
Oh my!
Because the production company got thrown out of a real, cemetery, and they said, "Annie, you wouldn't happen to have tombstones, would you?" And I said, "Do you want fake or real?" And they said, "No, you have real." I said, "Yeah, I have real tombstones. Don't ask me why. There was a sale. If it's on sale or clearance or somebody gives it to me, I have a couple of tombstone
sure,
crosses.
I got a bunch right here. What do you need?
My mom stopped me from buying a coffin. She's like, "No, that's enough." And I'm like, "You never know. It's a coffin.
You never
For $25, it could come in so handy. You know how many things I can film with a coffin?"
Well, you're in
Just
the
like,
business.
stop.
I mean, that's become a part of your life. I mean, you have your Joe job that gives you your insurance and a roof over your heads and all that stuff, and then you have your passion.
This is why I don't have a boyfriend because I'm doing all this.
That's all coming. If you want it, you'll have it, and there's time for that.
He's got to accept all of this weirdness.
Yes.
He's got to accept my weirdness as it is.
He's got to accept that you were Susie's mom.
It's not going to be diluted.
Susie's mom in Pussy Kills 2017.
Yes, that was just a voiceover, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just a voice.
All right. You had nothing to do with anything there.
No. I was just a voice on the. No, actually, I think they filmed me in the kitchen talking on the phone.
Okay. All right. Hey, this is great. And these are all primarily in the horror genre. They're different kinds of films.
No, they're different kind of films.
Okay.
I love the horror genre. I hate to say it. I hate to watch gory films, but I love to film them.
Sure.
They're so much fun. I have to clean the blood off my walls, a couple of times.
Well, what it is an outlet, and it all goes together with the kids that are doing the shooting. They need an outlet, a different way to express themselves. And if they can get into what you're doing, anyone with an iPhone in their pocket or a smartphone, you can start filming.
Yeah.
Just have some fun. Go out instead of actually doing the shooting up. Pretend. Make a little film out of it. Hey, this is what's on my mind.
Or get help. And if you need to get help, talk to someone. Exactly.
Absolutely. Talk to someone.
Don't
hold
bottle everything up. Oh yeah. And don't go out and get a gun or anything like that. That doesn't solve anything.
A public service message from Indiana Jones. Oh, my.
Well, I feel like I'm a role model. I'm a role model to young people. I feel like that. I've been asked to speak at schools.
Oh, that's
about
fantastic.
Internet safety and YouTube safety, and I have to dress up as Maleficent because that's what they want.
Of course. It's right there on your header. You're there as Maleficent, and then
as
the other
Maleficent
one is
Lucy.
Chiquita Banana, Lucy.
No, Lucy.
She looks like Carmen Miranda. She's got the maracas.
Remember when Lucy was trying to make Ricky feel at home and she put on Mama okay. Remember that one? Yeah.
Yes.
I have a Lucy episode.
Yes, she was.
Too.
It was Lucy as Carmen Miranda.
There you go.
So you were doing two.
There you
fantastic.
go. I have to do Carmen. I haven't done Carmen Miranda yet. I have to do more oldie films.
All right. Well, we're up at 2017 with Dead Sale, Mrs. Evers.
Oh, that one was great. Okay, so Dead Sale, I love that one. I am a real estate agent who is showing this house of these
like
two
Mama.
deadbeats that are... Yeah, just like my mom, exactly. And I have the red jacket and everything with the pin. And these two deadbeats are renting this home, and I'm there to show the home. And one of the deadbeats decided, the mid-20s guy decided to have a rip-roaring party. This is a dark humor kind of film. And unfortunately, one girl drank herself to death.
Oh.
And so that's why it's called Dead Sale. So while I'm trying to show the house to this prospective buyer who's just about to get married, and is very lovely and delicate and feminine, these guys are running around from one room to the other to hide the body. They keep trying to hide the body, and I show up, and there's it's hilarious.
A la Weekend at Bernie's.
Exactly.
I like it a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was by Adam. His name is Jack Kurarski. A lovely man. Love to work with him again anytime.
And you're right. It was Adams' his middle name, so I guess it goes by Adam sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, that's see, and you
Francisco
remember.
Ortega was a writer. Look at that. And Francisco Ortega was a writer.
You remember? That's fantastic.
Yeah, because I'm friends with them. It's like I'm still Facebook friends, and he actually helped me out with United Way last year. Francisco did, because I decided to have a Hollywood themed get together, and he came dressed as Charlie Chaplin, so that people can take pictures with Charlie Chaplin.
And it all comes around. The people that you develop relationships with, help your community, the people in your backyard. If everyone swept their own porch, the whole world would be clean.
There you go.
How great is this?
Support each other.
Of course. Aria, 2018, just last year.
Just last year, that's the steampunk movie.
Yes.
I forgot what my name was. I forget. So that was by Agatino.
You were the guide.
I love Agatino.
You were the guide.
I was the guide. I didn't have a name. And what it was so it's this topic, future, I don't get it yet. Steampunk thing, but it's beautiful. Steampunk thing.
I'm looking at the poster, and the costumes look beautiful.
Yeah, it was steampunk, and we filmed it at the Old Railroad Museum, and I still don't get it. It's a theme about immigration and displacement, and I don't know. It's
amazing how you can tell a story about one thing and there's a message completely about another thing. And if there was a cosplay that I did, I think I've done steampunk. I have the glasses. I have some light up glasses too that are steampunky. And the top hat, I guess, and then side effects that you're now filming to become a full length side effects.
Yes, where I play Crazy Linda.
Crazy Linda. Are we allowed to say Crazy Linda? I don't know. Is that a diagnosis?
I don't know.
Is that proper?
I don't know.
I'm not very
PC. They call her Crazy Linda, and she's one of the neighbors to these two guys that are deadbeats. Not deadbeats, not too bad, but they come up with the wrong things. Wrong, I don't know. And so she comes up with she makes drugs for the heck of it. It's kind of like Breaking Bad.
Sure, why not?
But she really doesn't know what she's doing.
Okay.
So she comes up with weird drugs, and one of them actually turns people into cannibals or zombies. But now in Side Effects, the full feature film, I don't know if it's going to be called More Side Effects or Worse Side Effects or what have you. But actually she comes up with a drug that makes people into zombies and vampires and werewolves and everything you can imagine, Oh. So, the city's running around with, zombies and vampires and werewolves. Oh, my.
Action-packed, Annie. And I did catch the Wizard of Oz reference. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah, and I did dress up like Glenda the Good Witch and as a cosplay once and make the costume.
How cool. You are the Good Witch.
Cats were pooping glitter for weeks. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, be careful when you're cosplaying with glitter. It will come up for years. Hey, there's glitter still. Where'd that come from? The Circle, 2018, Nancy.
Oh, okay. Hold on, my son. My mother keeps calling me. I'm sorry. So The Circle, this is interesting. This was with Wayne Wild and Gabriella.
Yes.
Wayne Wild I met at one of the 48-hour film races, and his code name was Skittles, and I'll never forget him for that. But he also helped me in one of my videos, and he played Harry Potter in one of my videos.
That's great.
What it is, The Circle is about Nancy is a kindly neighbor who's just helping these young people out who are trying to get away from these people that are actually trying to harvest body organs from them.
Whoa.
But little do they know.
Well,
little do they know.
It looks like you still have some things in production that have not been released, I guess. You've already went through Our Final Days Part 3, Our Final Days Together. Yeah. But then you have Camilla and Hot Date and Breach and Basketball Friends Forever, McClintock 2,
oh, yeah.
Comfort Betrays.
Yeah.
I know we probably have to wrap this up. It looks like the kids and mom are trying to get a hold of you, but maybe you could say a few things about them.
All of them. Okay, so Comfort Betrays was pretty much It was just a character. Okay, one of the young men that I can't remember his name right now. Oh my God, I'm going to die. One of the young men that I met and made friends with during Dead Sales, one of the deadbeats, he wanted to explore characterization. And one of the characters that he played. Peter Lou, yes, yes, I love him. Very good actor, incredible actor. He actually played a handicapped young man, son of a very wealthy woman who could care less about him. And that's why it's called Comfort Betrays. Yeah. So it was very hard for me because I have, that's the thing, is that you have to go outside of yourself to really be an actor. I mean, for me to be cruel to somebody who's handicapped, that's like, oh my gosh, that's really, really cruel. But you got to do what you got to do.
Okay,
it's not you; it's a character.
Indiana Jones, we really only spent a lot of time talking about the acting and maybe a little bit touching about the cosplay. Do you want to go into the crafting and the cooking, or tell people a little bit about that? Or I mean, I got forever. I go as long as you want.
Yeah, I can go as long as you want. Hey,
let's go.
Let's go. So Indiana Jones, like I said, an amalgamation of everything I love. I've always been crafty. I've always been crafting. My house is always a mess because I'm always crafting. But I'm extremely, I love to just create all the time. Like, I was creating this weekend while we were preparing for the hurricane. I was like, okay, I got to make something. I'm going to go nuts.
So,
if you're tired of looking on YouTube and watching these women doing their, Dollar Tree hauls and, crafting at their kitchen table. Nothing wrong with them. Love them. I watch a ton of them. That's what I love to watch. I love watching people making things and learning from, different techniques and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want something different, it's kind of like Martha Stewart meets Carol Burnett, where Carol Burnett would dress up as different characters and parody these characters. And so what I do is I'm bringing the love of everything together, and then I bring in actresses and cameramen and, editors. I mean, if you look at my Hocus Pocus video, the intro to that was actually created by a fan of mine, Sonny, who is in Scotland.
Yay,
and he
Sonny.
loves all things Disney. And he goes, please let me make an intro for you. And I said, hey, I'm doing Hocus Pocus. Like, love it. So he made the intro for me.
See, that's fantastic about the internet, is that you can meet people from all over the world and interact with them and create with them. And that's what you've done. Yeah. And I see the Beetlejuice and then the Hocus Pocus and then the Harry Potter and the intro is great. He did that for you?
Thank you. He did that for me, yeah.
Wow.
Just because he wanted to be part, he kept saying, I want to be part of the show. How can everybody calls it a show. It's so hilarious. Can I be on your show? And I'm like, well, it's not like I'm a casting director. Yeah. What movie do you love? What movie do I love? Let's see if we can do it together. That's it. That's what it takes to get on Indiana Jones.
Right. and what does it take to get on? Be a part of it. What does it take to get on What Makes You Famous? Do you have a story to tell? Everybody has a story to tell.
I love it.
Tell your story.
And I love the concept of your podcast as well. I got to listen to. I don't know if I'm famous.
No. It's.
I think I am.
The station, the radio station I run is Radio What. And it's What Makes You Famous. So you could read it both ways. It's like a double entendre, so
there you go.
You can ask the question, what makes you famous? And I've had somebody answer that. They ran for about 25 minutes. And I said, okay. You gave me a lot to unpack. And then Radio What Makes You Famous. So you'll be a little more famous than you were. And I think we have someone in common, a friend in common.
Who?
Carrie Fernandez. She is a real estate agent there in Miami. Carrie Fernandez. Yeah, at least I looked you up on your Facebook, and we have a mutual friend.
I probably know her from high school.
And she was also on the podcast as well. So you can listen.
Really? Yeah. Oh, gosh. I got to look her up now.
Well, she does a lot of characters. That's so funny that I mean, yes, Miami, 7 million people. But to have two people in Miami and she does a lot of characters. She does a lot of Cuban men with the sunglasses and she's real.
I gotta look her. Wait, now I don't know. I'm trying to place her face. I gotta look her up. If I see her face, I probably know her.
I'm sure you do.
Because I do. I mean, the minute I work with somebody, it's like, "What's your Facebook name?" We are now connected. We are now, brothers in acting or artistry or what have you.
Indeed.
So. But yeah.
So, okay.
But crafting, I've always loved crafting, so
right.
I decided to put it on YouTube.
That's fantastic. Now, what kind of crafts
And I didn't
do you
do
do?
it to,
Because I really didn't dig into all your crafts, but do you always do it in character? And what crafts do you do?
So I try to do what I like to call fast, cheap, and easy. Kind of like my ex-husband's mistress.
Okay.
Okay.
Shots fired.
You get. No, it's so funny. Anyway, no. I say that just, I have to say it tongue in cheek because he actually came to me and told me that she watched and she was very insulted that I would say that. And I'm like, wait a minute, she watches my channel? Okay.
Of course. The hate is going to hate.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, so I try to do crafts that are fast, cheap, and easy. So it's not like Martha Stewart where you have to get dye from India or something. It's just using regular stuff that you have around the house or that you can get at Dollar Tree or Walmart and making something fun. And I love Halloween, so I have a plethora of Halloween episodes. But I do try to dress up. I try to do productions all throughout the year. So, for Thanksgiving last year I did Game of Thrones because why not? I wanted to, and it's my favorite show.
Why not?
And for New Year's Eve,
I haven't seen one yet. Full disclosure, but I'm aware that there is a show.
It's a good show, except for the last season. It was a very good show.
Oh, I'm sure it's great. I just don't have the HBO. I have the Netflix, the Amazon, and the Hulu, and the.
But
YouTube.
I think you can see it on. I think you can see it on something's on because I don't have. Well, I only take HBO when it's on.
Oh, I got you.
It's like, here for the 2 months that I'm paying for. Okay, I'm done.
And then I'm out.
That kind of thing. Then I'm out. Yeah, exactly. But and I did Mad Men for New Year's Eve because I thought, how
now
cool
that
to
one
have
I've
Joan.
seen. Yes.
Joan Holloway and Roger Sterling making cocktails for you.
Why not? Yes.
Why not? And I love Joan Holloway because she's a full-figured woman, and so am I. So
dig it, hubba.
There you go. So but I love making things. I love taking things, and my ex used to say, I could take a newspaper and make a microwave out of it. He always was stunned at how I can just we have an evening event to go to. I was like, okay, wait a second, I can't find anything to wear. Wait a minute. Give me a couple hours. Oh, I have an evening gown. And he was like, when did you make? How? What? That kind of thing.
MacGyvered that thing. That's right.
I am a MacGyver. Very much so.
That's cool.
Very much so.
All right. So what kind of crafts, though? They're cheap and easy, but what kind of crafts? Is it primarily costume building or is it basket weaving?
No. It can be anything you can make with a glue gun. I can help you with that. But for example, for Easter, what did I do for Easter that was interesting? Oh, so for Easter, I found out because I always love these beautifully painted Easter eggs that people have all over the world, and I don't have that skill. Yeah. And then I found out because I was watching a cooking show, and it was they use egg whites to glue little flowers onto this cake, and I'm like, I can use egg whites. So I decoupaged. Do you know what decoupage is?
No. Explain a little bit.
Okay, so decoupage is French for let's take paper and stick it on something else and make it pretty. That's pretty much it.
Dig it.
So you can take napkins, very thin napkins, very delicate and elegant little napkins with butterflies and flowers, and you can take a hard-boiled egg, a cold hard-boiled egg, put egg whites on it, and then put these napkins on it and decorate it and make it look like you've painted these things, and they're just gorgeous, and you just literally slapped one thing on top of the other, and they're still edible. It's not like you put glue on it. You made an inedible egg. But those kind of things, just fun stuff, how to make slime for Halloween. I love making decorations for Halloween. How to take pages from a book and make a banner, for Halloween, make an antique-looking banner, vintage-looking banner, or how to make pumpkins, or I'm trying to think of things I've done. How to make an enchanted book, cutting out pages.
I'm watching you make snowflakes dressed up like a Christmas story with your friend there. This is fantastic.
What am I making, snowflakes?
I guess you were making gigantic snowflakes.
Yes, out of paper bags. Did you see how beautiful that is?
They came out so good.
Bags.
Christmas in July. Right? Fantastic.
And that was at Bonjour America TV Studios. Thank you very much.
Oh.
And that was with Odie Alina,
Okay.
the producer of the steampunk movie. See how it all comes together.
It all comes
Everything.
around. It's
All comes around.
this is good. This is good. I'm so glad you talked to me and you agreed to do this.
I'm so glad you reached out to me.
Oh.
I'm so glad you found me in the recesses of Miami over here.
Yes.
In my little suburb house,
You made me homesick. You're in West Kendall. That's only a half hour away from the beach. Really, everything is real close to the beach when you're in South Florida.
Without traffic. Wait. Half an hour without traffic.
On the Palmetto?
It takes me an hour
you take 95?
It takes me an hour and a half. And it takes me an hour and a half to get to Coral Gables to get to work every day. So I travel 3 hours daily.
I worked at a radio station in Coral Gables, what was it? WVCG, Coral Gables, Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah, and now it's the voice of the people. I think it's or at least it was the people's. I can't remember. It was one of the Radio 1 stations when I left.
Oh, nice.
They become Radio 1, and I think they have Smiley and some of the other people there. But it used to be a station that was Spanish and Christian. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But,
Very nice.
Yeah, I worked at a lot of
speaking
radio
of which,
stations
wait, because I can go on tangents forever.
Please,
I used
let's
to be a youth minister in the Catholic Church. Just to let you know.
Okay.
Used to be a youth minister. Loved it.
Okay.
Had so much fun. Worst thing I ever did was plan a college retreat in Key West during Fantasy Fest.
Well,
that did not work.
youth minister, do not go to Key West and Fantasy Fest. No, this is the wrong time to go. Don't do it.
Wrong time. No. We're all hungover for church on Sunday. Not smart. Bad friend. Let me tell you, I got famous. Everything. Oh man, you got to go to one of Annie's retreats.
Oh yeah,
man,
you do.
A really good retreat.
Did they come painted up and borrachado? They were. Oh my gosh! No.
Yeah, I know. I had fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very involved in the Catholic Church at one time. Still kind of.
Okay, all right. I was Catholic. Now I'm American. So you grow, I guess.
You're Catholic now. You're American. What?
I was Catholic. Now I'm American. So you grow.
Wait a minute. What does Catholic and American have to do? Like.
It's
so now you're not a Cuban Catholic anymore.
Es un chiste.
Okay.
It's a joke. A joke.
Once you're Cuban, you're always Cuban. Once you're Catholic, it's still in there somewhere.
I guess it's in there somewhere. I've run the gambit.
Buried.
I've run the gambit religiously, but yeah.
There you go.
Always searching.
But it's in there.
Indy Annie Jones. Anna Margarita Jones. Look her up on IMDb. Look her up on YouTube. Any other place you want them to connect with you?
Facebook, I have an Indiana Jones page, and Instagram, I'm Indiana Jones 1, and Pinterest, I'm Indiana Jones 1. Anywhere, please look for me, find me, watch, comment, subscribe if you want. I'm not about the numbers. I'm more about enjoying, and, one of the greatest, I only got one bad message on my YouTubes. I have to tell you about it.
Really?
I was told yes, only one. And it was adorable because the person says, she has quite the attitude, doesn't she? And I'm like, thank you. Yes, I do. So, yeah, I thought it was adorable.
And you were able to go ahead and shout that out on the very next video, weren't you?
Yeah, no, and I was like, thank you. I did. I said, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you watched it. I'm sorry if I don't have the right attitude that you would like. It's just how I am. That's how I was raised. That's how I am. And but another message that I received was so sweet. It was from an elderly woman who was homebound, and that she would love to watch crafting, videos, but that she really enjoyed, my smiling face, my sincerity. And, when you watch my videos, you notice that sometimes things don't go right because I go live. I'm like, one take, we're done. I don't care how bad it turns out. I don't care
if it looks Jones. Like crap. There she is.
Yes. If it looks like crap, I don't care. At least they learn, look, this is what it looks like on Pinterest. It's not true, okay? You can't do this. This is impossible. But when I burn myself with a glue gun, and it happens every time, I always burn myself with a glue gun. I burn myself so much, it's like I have no sensation at the tips of my fingers anymore. But she was so sweet. She had commented on 2 separate videos thanking me about, my laughter, my this, that it was very sincere and genuine. It's not like I'm trying. I don't try to be something I am. I'm just there. If I'm being silly, I'm being silly. If I'm having fun with my co-stars, it's probably because I am having fun. Because everybody says, oh, it looks like so much fun. I said, yeah, because it is. It is. I'm talking to this one woman, Susan Prowler, if she hears this. She's, an older actress. Yes. And I told her, my dream is to do a parody. And I know it's already been done, but I want to do it again on Grey Gardens, and she would be so adorable as older Edie, as Big Edie, and I'll be little Edie. Oh. And I think it would be cute to craft. Imagine crafting like them, like with old cardboard boxes and empty cans. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I want to do how to craft the junk.
Yeah, it's going to happen. If you want it, it's going to happen. I just come across a picture of you in front of dressed like Lucy and another guy dressed like Ricky, and then you have Cuban posters behind you, and that one thing that I wake up with every morning, Café Bustelo, right there.
Oh, well, it's funny because I did. Now here I'm plugging somebody else because that's what I do.
Do it.
So you, for example, you are a displaced Cuban.
Yes.
You're away from the motherland, the original motherland, and the second motherland, which is Miami,
Cuba.
And sometimes you get a craving for some Cuban goodies, right? And you can't find that in Arkansas very easily.
No, I had to go to the store and tell them to order that Café Bustelo for me.
There you go.
Right
well, if Kroger. You subscribe, there's subscription boxes for Cubans called Abuela Mommy.
Come on.
It's just like your Abuela Mommy packed a care package for you. Yes.
I do have an Abuela Mommy.
There you go. So you can go to abuelamommy.com and you can pick a care package, and they also ship to soldiers all around the world.
How sweet.
So they'll ship a first box to a soldier for free. And Abuela Mommy now has its own Cuban coffee. And this was all done by a young man named Kiki Valdez. And I met him because he wanted me to do a promo. He saw my channel. He was friends with Jenny Lorenzo. And he said, do you mind doing a promo? I said, not only am I going to do a promo, because he said, oh, do it, a box opening. I'm like, no, we're going to go full out. We're going to do Ricky and Lucy opening. And that's what we did. Because Ricky was getting homesick for Cuba. And, Lucy decided to get him a subscription box from Abuela Mommy. And there you have it.
Fantastic.
So there you go. Shameless plug for a friend.
No shame in that game. No. Tell it's your podcast. You tell about anything that's important to you. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie Jones, Indie Annie Jones, Anna Margarita Jones.
You're welcome.
I hope that more people find out about you and have as much pleasure getting to know you as I have in this past. It's been almost an hour, more than an hour. It's great.
And I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot about this. Completely, because with the hurricane and the craziness, it was like. So
yeah, I try to send people a message at least a couple hours beforehand, and I think I did. But I'm glad that you took some time out of your day and away from your boy. And I think Mama's calling, so you better call her back. I know it's getting late over there.
I told Luke to call his abuela. Tell her not to worry, because if I don't answer. Cuban mothers.
Oh, you better believe it.
You don't answer.
Oh, you're in a ditch somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. The SWAT team is probably outside the house. There's a missing persons announcement everywhere.
Here comes Vasquez. Vasquez.
There you go. There's an Amber Alert going on for you because you didn't answer the first time they called. So oh my gosh.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Anna Margarita Jones, Indie Annie Jones. Thank you.
Do you think you got enough on me? Do you think you learned enough about me?
I don't know. You can come back every day if you want. I think. Hey,
and I didn't even tell you about the book I wrote, but that's another story.
Why haven't you told me about that? That should have slipped in.
Because it didn't get published, and it's a long story. I wrote a sequel kind of to Peter Pan, and I was trying to get it published, but I couldn't fight big guy Disney, and so I was like, I gave it up. But it was a good story.
You couldn't get it published?
No.
And you couldn't
'cause
self-publish it
hard.
because of the rights and such?
That's the whole thing. I was worried about the copyright infringement and stuff like that.
Come on. So when did you write this book? Tell. Go ahead. We got time.
Oh, God. It was like in 2007. Actually, because of that book, I wrote that book right after I had my second child. Because of that book, I ended up working with the Miami Book Fair.
How sweet.
So everything comes around full circle. Yeah, so. But it was a cool story. It was a story about, Wendy. And it was World War I, and she was watching as all her little friends, all the little boys that she used to play with and her brothers used to play with are dying in hospitals, and her own brothers are missing. And suddenly she sucks back into Neverland because Peter Pan cannot kill off Captain Hook. Captain Hook did not die in the crocodile.
Right.
And he's brought Wendy back because the mermaids say she has the power of death. And she does, because she's experienced it.
Oh.
So it's a very, very psychological. It was funny because I was actually corresponding with a gentleman who wrote, Andrew Birkin,
Yes.
who wrote the biography of James Barrie in London. And he actually wrote...
The one who wrote?
The one who wrote Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And he also created a mini-series on the BBC of James Barrie, not the Johnny Depp character that you see in whatever that other Neverland thing, Finding Neverland.
Right.
That was not the right character.
Oh, okay.
But, because James Barrie was a small man, 5'2", 5'3", not very sexual. He had issues. He had a lot of mental issues.
Gotcha.
But him and I were corresponding, and he loved the angle that I took psychologically for the different characters of Hook and Wendy and Peter. And, he actually invited me for tea, that Thursday. It was Tuesday, and he goes, I'll be in London if you'd like to meet for tea. And I'm like, well, I'm in Miami.
Yeah.
So, that's not going to happen.
So,
I was like, did you think I was British? And he goes, yeah, you're right. He goes, well, somehow I read it in a British accent. That's what he said. I'm like, oh, honey, it's like in a Cuban, New Yorker accent.
Wow.
So, but, God knows why. It's there. It's not lost. It's not forgotten.
Well,
it's there.
It's nowhere. It's nowhere in the ether. It's out there. It's in your hard drive somewhere.
It is in my hard drive somewhere. And then a couple of agents have a couple of chapters, but they didn't want to go forward because they were afraid of Disney. So let's just leave it there. But you know what? It was an experience, and I loved writing it. And who knows? Maybe it'll become a screenplay instead. That's maybe
I would
what
hope
it's
so.
supposed to be.
Get it out there. Indiana Jones, because it takes so much to write a book. I haven't done it. What did that entail, and what made you want to write a book? I mean, yes, I love the story of Peter Pan, but could I expound on it?
You love Peter Pan?
Of course,
it's so
every
funny.
incarnation I watch
Peter
it. Yeah,
I've never really loved Peter Pan, but all of a sudden I felt like, okay, this is going to sound weird, but I had these characters talking to me. And I was extremely like, how can I say it? I was just like in awe of, like Captain Hook for some reason. And it was like, why was he the villain? He was just an adult.
Right.
He was being pestered by these children. So it's a different take where you look at things from his point of view. And Wendy also sees the world more from his point of view than from as a child, because she's experienced all this pain and all this loss and all this, and she has all this anger and this frustration.
It's a perfect take. There's Wicked and there's Maleficent. There's all these.
Don't get me started on Maleficent.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated Maleficent. Yeah, I hated that movie.
Oh, but the bad guy is not always bad. You just got to look from their side. Yeah. Their point of view.
Yeah, it's true. And it's not that I make him into a good guy. He's not a good guy. He still wants to kill Peter, but he doesn't have the power to kill Peter per se, because Peter doesn't know what death is. And that's why Peter can't kill Captain Hook, because he's a child. He doesn't understand what death is.
Right.
So basically, he keeps killing Hook over and over and over again, and then he brings Wendy to kill Hook, and Hook realizes it and almost welcomes her into his inner sanctum so that she can try to kill him. But she doesn't have the wherewithal to kill him.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it's a very, very psychological. Yeah, she's a young woman now, and it's like they're closer. They can relate more than her and Peter. So
this needs to be out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Eve goes back to the Garden of Eden and just completely screws things up, basically.
Anna Margarita Jones, Indie Annie Jones. Well, we've learned a lot about you. Any last?
I'll send you the epilogue. See if you like it, and then there you go.
Please, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And I've already,
especially if you like Peter Pan, definitely.
Oh, for sure. I've added you on as a friend on Facebook, and I'll tag you and all this stuff, and hopefully we get to keep in touch as you progress.
Definitely.
Any last words for the people?
Oh my gosh, I feel so powerful. Wait, I should stand up for this. Hold on, I feel.
Do it.
There should be music in the background. Some last words for the people. You have the power to make you. That's the most important thing. A lot of people don't realize that. They feel they are subjected to the situations and conditions around them. And the most fervent, creative, loving hearts and minds can survive the most desperate and despicable of situations. So always keep that in mind. I feel too many people give in to the situations and the conditions that they're in, and they feel it's hopeless. Where there's life, there's always hope. And always look around you. Don't look at the screen in front of you to connect to the world. Look at the person beside you who could possibly have just found out they lost their job, or they lost a loved one, or they just found out they have cancer. I have a friend that sadly passed away, and I want to dedicate this to my high school friend, Mars, who passed away last week. And Mars Bar, Bariana. I used to call her Mars Bar. And so you never know what the situation is of the people around you. So take a moment and look, because we're sharing this world together. I know this sounds like so like yummy feely, whatever, warmy, whatever, but I love sitting on the train and watching people, and everybody's just looking at their screens. And I'm like, they don't realize we're all in this together. If something were to happen right now, we would all have to count on each other here on this train or in this elevator. Say good morning. Give a smile. It's the least we can do. The greatest commodity we have, and it's free, is kindness. It's a smile. It's a nice word. Even if somebody's treating you like crap, like the bus driver's treating you like crap, or this person just cut you off. Now in Miami, it's okay. You can scream at them, and I usually become possessed when I'm driving in Miami because I just don't understand. But in a personal situation, crossing the street or just, I don't know, see each other. There's a world of humanity, and all this humanity, they're all separate little worlds and universes out there, so, coexisting with us. So just notice each other and care. And that's all I want to say. That's it.
That was beautiful.
And brush your teeth. I don't know. What else can I say?
And always use sunscreen.
I don't know. You always use sunscreen.
Trust me.
There's some people out there who don't know how to clean their butts. I hate to say this.
Yes. I think we can end on that. Thank you. Annie Jones. No. Anna
Thank
Margarita
you so
Jones.
much. Thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I can't wait to friend you on Facebook and meet some more of your other fans. Hey, at least I'm memorable, If you're not going to be remarkable, at least be memorable. That's what I always say.
Oh, you're fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jones.
Thank you so much. Oh, Miss Jones, just call me Annie or Indy or Indiana, whatever.
We named the dog Indiana.
I know, right? There you go. And believe it or not, one last story. My first child was almost named Indiana. That stopped. I couldn't let that happen, I was like, he's not going to walk in with a theme every time, to the classroom theme. Ding, ding, ding.
Who put the kibosh on that one?
I did. Well, and my ex wanted to name him Indiana. And then people started calling him Indy. And then they started saying, well, that's not his real name. His real name is... It's like, okay, fine, forget it. Ethan. There. And Luke, my other son Luke, is not Luke Skywalker Jones. That was the other choice.
That was already in the back of my head.
Really?
As soon as you said Luke, I said, there's got to be a story there.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, it's a sad story, but it's for another time.
Oh.
It's for another time.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you, and take care to all your fans and friends out there.
Well, there you have it, party people. Indy Annie Jones, Anna Margarita Jones on the IMDb. I had no idea. I saw she's a cosplayer. She does crafts and so much more. And now she's working with the United Way and helping people out. It's got to make her heart feel good. I've had a good time chit-chatting with Indy Annie Jones, Anna Margarita Jones. A Cuban. See, that was something I didn't know about her. I perused her YouTube channel a little bit, and I saw that she has some characters and such. But yeah, that's cool. And she does a Lucy and Ricky little show there, and Hocus Pocus and the aliens thing. I encourage you, check out the YouTube channel and find out even more about Indy Annie Jones. Look her up everywhere on the Facebook, the Instagram. She's a good follow. Check it out. Thank you so much for being on the program, Indy Annie Jones, Anna Margarita Jones, and making me homesick for Miami, Florida. Kendall in particular. I lived in Kendall for quite some time. Worked right there at Baptist Hospital in Miami. I did that from, let's see, when did I start at Baptist Hospital? About 87? No, it was 97. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 97 till about 2004, if I'm not mistaken. And I was 89 to 99 with the Key Largo Fire Department. So, and then I worked about 3 years before I stopped the fire department over at Baptist Hospital in Kendall, Florida. Right there, just outside of Miami proper. I know Miami's got little cities within the city. Miami-Dade County is what they're calling it now. It's been quite some time since they changed it from Dade County, because Miami was the biggest part of Dade County. So they went ahead and hyphenated and married the city with the county, Miami-Dade County. So yeah, that's the dirt that I used to chew. And Annie's still there. West Kendall, that's a great place to live. And hey, I'm enjoying it here in Conway, Arkansas. I got the fam here. It's good. It's good, I tell you. And I'm so happy to be talking to people all over this great planet of ours and learning more about you and learning from you. So, learn how to do some crafts and learn how to do some cosplaying from Indy Annie Jones. And yeah, she'll teach you a little bit about acting too. She never took an acting class, and yet she's got 19 credits on her IMDb. Do you? No? No, you don't? Okay. All right. Well, if you want to do it, you go do it. That's right. Anything you want to do, you try it, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Hey, no bullying. All right? No bullying. Thanks again for being on the program, Anna Margarita Jones, Indy Annie Jones. If you want to tell your story on the What Makes You Famous podcast, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous, the podcast. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What, the music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. The first mention of soap was on Sumerian clay tablets dating about 2500 BC. The soap was made of water, alkali, and cassia oil. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
Hey, Keys Dan. What you doing? My line.
I'm playing the best music by request 24 hours a day. Click on the request tab at the top of radiowhat.com.
radiowhat.com.